XRP price reaching 3 digits to touch $100 per XRP or $200 per XRP. It looks possible for me because the target for me in this market cycle is that $100 to $200. Now, why I strongly believe that's going to happen? Because it will actually happen due to the rock solid foundation laid by Ripple, the company for Ripples, the asset. And now it's the time for the world, right? The world is actually moving towards a new financial system, and I do not think you guys may disagree with me with I'm stating facts from these documents. So I don't think you guys would be disagreeing with me on this, as I'm here with documents from IMF, UN and reputed institutions, and their targets and Ripple's vision looks similar. If you actually look at this, you will understand that the target highlighted by Brad is towards 2030, and if you look at the UN website, you can also see something similar. They are also targeting 2030. That's the agenda 2030. So now we are watching central bank digital currencies are being rolled out, right? This one shows the role of CYPHERIUM, a third generation blockchain, right? Why am I highlighting CYPHERIUM? Because ILP is the interoperability layer for that one. Yes, we need to explain those in detail about how all of these will be connected towards the next market cycle of XRP when you look at the XRP chart in different aspects and try to take out the possibilities, the odds, to understand that whether you are in the right place and if the target we set is actually optimum one. We'll actually have to go through and discuss about all of those. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you guys saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support, you can use that PayPal, Patreon or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. If you would like to get more information on different charts, setups and all, you can use Patreon to access all of those. Now let's actually dive into the charts and discuss the different possibilities which we are looking at. So this is XRP chart on a weekly, right? So we can see that we are at a support resistance zone and we are making a bottom. Whether we will have to understand whether this is going to be a rounded bottom or a cup and handle. Now both of the scenarios are possible, but we can't actually predict which will be there. But what we can say is that the possibility of a bottom moving towards the upside, meaning this market cycle in which currently we are at a bearish scenario. Now yes, from last couple of months or from early May, we can say that we are making a bullish trend. If you draw that on a technical analysis way, you can understand we are in a bullish mode, but that is in a bearish market, right? We've been correcting from a long time. Now zooming in on that one, this is what you actually get. We went from the bottom of 0.12 towards 0.32 and we are correcting to the downside and we are in a channel. Now yes, I know you guys are actually really looking at how these are actually possible, right? How can we reach that high for XRP price? Now for that, I would actually like to take you guys through different scenarios. Now it will be like one scenario will take you around $100 or $130 somewhere near, and the other one is taking us near to 30. Now both of them are based on reality. We are trying to access all of those. Say here in the last cycle, if we look at that, say we had first burst or the pump, you can say, and then a correction of 50-60%, and then again a pump from that bottom towards the top, that's 1000%, then again a correction of 68%, and again a pump of 1600%. Now these are measured from that bottom before the pump, but in order to understand and measure the next fluctuation, we need to actually look at how much it corrected, right? So here the first pump, and then it corrected 59%. Then again another pump from that bottom, it's 1461%, and then a correction of 68%. From that bottom, we went up 2871%. Now, if you take that and plot it, assuming that the 0.12 was the bottom of this cycle, you get to reach around 98, or say with standard deviations and all, you can put it around $100 to $130. So that's where you reach. Now, keep in mind, in the same scenario, you actually have to understand this too. Like the first pump actually reached the all-time highs. So this was the all-time high, and the first pump reached there and then corrected 58%, right? And then went up. So if you measure that upside from that all-time high, you kind of get 609%. That's from that previous all-time high, right? And from that high, if you measure, you get another 780% to the upside, say 750, 720, whatever, right? Now you take that and try to put that into perspective, assuming again that the 0.12 is the bottom of the cycle. You get another fluctuation, which should be the first pump, moving towards the all-time highs of $3.8. That would be like 3000% for those guys who bought or who have average around 0.12. Now, yeah, this scenario may be different for different individuals, but we'll look at that. Now, from that all-time high, if we are bouncing 609%, similar to this one here, we would be reaching around $28, $29 point. Now, that would also have correction similar to that of the first one too. We will be having a correction, but measuring the next high from that point, it's say 724%. It takes us around $230, $240 per XRP. Now these are based on two items, right? One is based on the patterns and trend. Another one is just focusing on the percentage of fluctuation in the last cycle and trying to extrapolate that one into this cycle from the low which we put in. Right? Now, why do I actually believe that this cycle is actually going to shift into a bullish momentum? This is XRP BTC pair. If you look at that one and then focus on the MACD and RSI along with the price, you kind of get an idea that the price came back. It just bounced or pumped, and then it's around 0.78 and it's getting a bounce. Now, this time the bounce looks a bit different from others. Here it went and touched the roof or the trend line resistance. Each time it went there, it suddenly got pushed back by the sellers, or the sellers were more interested to enter into selling positions and they pushed the price low or kicked the buyers out from there. And the buyers kind of, were really strong and they were entering into buy positions at the support level. But this time the difference is the same thing is happening in this pattern. However, if you look at the pattern, you can see that we are at the top. We are flirting with that resistance trend line from some time, right? And at the same time, if you look at the MACD, you can see that the MACD crossed to the upside. Now that is actually a positive sign. And at the same time, if you look at the RSI, you can understand that RSI just broke out of that trend. Now this is a same trend which the price is following here. So that's actually a bullish symbol in XRP BTC pair. Now, yes, it's not only that one. If you focus on this one, which is a weekly chart of XRP BTC pair, to understand how huge and volatile was the previous fluctuation and how did it actually start, right? We actually want to understand how it started. So if you look at this pattern, this one looks like an enlarged version of this one for me. Now, I don't know what you think about that. If you do think that is similar aspect, do let me know in that comment section below if you have a different opinion or similar one. Now, if you look at this, you can understand this descending channel there, in which if you concentrate on that one, I would argue that this particular pattern is so similar to this one. And if that is true, then we are going to get a break to the upside soon. Now, yes, the break to the upside may not be parabolic, but it may start like a grind up in a slow motion. But What really matters is breaking above this particular resistance trend line. And if that happens, we should be watching some kind of fluctuation in XRP USD pair too. Now, why I say that? When we look at XRP USD pair on a longer time frame, say this is weekly chart, we can see the price is just at the support resistance area of a long-term support resistance. See, it was there from May 2017, right? Now 2018, 2019, 2020, now we are reaching somewhere near 2021. We are getting close to that, right? So it's like 3 to 4 years that particular area is acting as a support and resistance. And last time when we bounced the final bounce of that distribution of that bull market, it was from that level, and that level was holding the price at that area of a correction. Now, if the same is to be repeated once we get that bounce, you can understand we were in a bearish trend, we capitulated. Now the buyers are finding, if you look at this like, a game in which buyers are pulling from one end and the sellers are at the other end, eventually who will win? If the buyers can actually pull in the sellers, you can understand that they are winning. And in the similar manner, if you look at this one, you can understand that sellers were in control during this time till April 2020, but from that point onwards, buyers are kind of getting back into control. When we reached this particular area, that's 0.17, it's kind of buyers are in control. You can see those huge weekly candles which were turning into bullish shaved candles, showing the momentum and interest of buyers. So the buyers are now having a revived interest in that one. So if we just put this one here, now that's just a speculation whether the same is going to be repeated, so I haven't actually scaled it for time or percentage. I have just plotted it here. So in that aspect, there are two chances, right? One which we were talking about is like reaching the all-time high first, that is $3.8, or the other one based on percentage of fluctuation will be taking us around $1.6. That is what we are watching here, around say 1.6 to 2.4. There are different scenarios which we discussed, right? So if this pattern is to repeat itself, it would be something like this: $2.4, $15 to $16, then $130. Now, yeah, you can take a say plus or minus 10%. But however, if we are going with the percentage of fluctuation, that gives us a different view. Percentage of fluctuation kind of takes us around $1.6 to $1.7 first, and then $10, $11. That range. Afterwards, we are reaching that $9,800 region. Now, if we are just again repeating, just to clarify, if we are focusing on the pattern and trend, it takes us somewhere near $232. Now, I understand we are here talking about an asset around $0.24 and reaching $200. It seems really awkward, right? But that did happen in the last cycle too. If you measure the fluctuation of last cycle, you'll understand we actually did 140,000% from the bottom of that cycle to the top. Now, what about the general retail investors? Like, there are two scenarios. Like, if you have that average of 0.12, you would be getting 180,000% this time based on this one. At the same time, yes, majority of us won't be having that 0.12 as our average, right? So the chances are that your average may be somewhere here, or we actually got a lot of time to average down till here, which is say 0.17. So assuming that our average is 0.17, we would still be getting 130,000% when the price hits $232. Now, yes, the TOEFL may actually vary. Even if it is reaching towards $100, it should be huge for majority of us, right? Because we are accumulating XRP on this state. Now, why are we actually accumulating XRP? I'll say it's based on the fundamentals. Now, when we say fundamentals, it's like a wide area. You'll be asking, what fundamentals are you talking about, right? And this one is exactly what I'm talking about, a new financial system which is indicating sustainable green future. They're talking about the climate change, sustainable finance, and moving towards a new financial system for poverty reduction and growth. In other words, financial inclusion. what are we really discussing for XRP here? Brad tweeted this one out. It's clear. Crypto belongs in future global financial system. So what is he talking about? A future global financial system. So what did previous Bank of England governor talked about? A new system, right? And what is the United Nations talking about? A sustainable development. What is the UN sustainable development goals are looking at? 2030. Now, if you go through, you'll have a different aspects of this one talking about everything leading towards a sustainable financial technology. And Ripple Insights highlight the same. Now, it's September 30, just one day, right? Leading the way on global crypto and fintech sustainability. Now, why is this so important? Because due to the pandemic, now we all understand that the work on central bank digital currency is being increased. The pedal is being pushed on that accelerator as much as possible. Now we understand Sweden is increasing its speed when China is kind of edging towards that end, right? And at the same time, we are all seeing the financial system of future. Now you have to understand the perspective is being laid out not just this year, not just last year. They were all planning on the same thing and waiting for an opportunity to do the same. Now this article belongs to 2016, that year. So it's like 4 years back and still they're talking the same. If you move towards Mark Carney's statement, you can understand it's not 2016. We came back towards 2019, right? The end of 2019. So if you think about that, this perspective is there or planned by the elites or those who are controlling the financial system. And now when we watch different aspects, there are a lot to think. This network, which is CYPHERIUM, which is a third generation blockchain, it is created for smart contracts platform that offers both technology for users. Now, this one is showing CYPHERIUM's interview about blockchains and central bank digital currency trials. Now, when you talk about that, you should be, focused here. Why? Because it may seem like this has nothing to do with Ripple, XRP, ILP and all, but when you come down a little bit to understand what it really is and how they are talking about the interoperability, how it should be working through different areas, you now get something huge. Like CYPHERIUM development team combines leading blockchain cryptographers with background at companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft. These are top guys on the industry, right? They are in the industry from leading companies. Now, why are they moving there? Because you can see CYPHERIUM is here to help as China and other nations continue to bring their central bank digital currencies to from experimentation to fruition. So this is going to be huge. Now, interoperability is something huge for this digital currency era. If you agree with that or not, it is the reality. It is written here, it is a novel approach that consists of 6 major bodies. The central bank, obviously, then the cyberlink, which is a notary mechanism on the interledger protocol. So do you get the connection there? Then CYPHERIUM Connect, a third-party plugin module for banking systems. CYPHERIUM Validator, a verification machine. So when you understand that, if central banks are working on the central bank digital currencies, let it be in different blockchains, 2nd generation, 3rd generation, it's different blockchain, it's cool. Say China won't never be having the same digital currency on a blockchain in which US is having it, right? It would be entirely different. But what is important is the interoperability between them. And that's why it is talking here, right? CYPHERIUM has developed its digital currency interoperability framework in which ILP is there. Now, why are we talking about ILP? Because it is designed for usage of interoperability. And if you read this, it is used by Ripple Labs to connect bank systems across borders in its Ripple XRP digital Hawala service or other cryptocurrency products. Do understand the importance of this one when we are talking through. Now the research is happening in different areas and they are all concentrated on digital currencies for multinational finance, meaning it's cross-border financial infrastructure, and it is being talked from a long time, right? They are all looking at Bitcoin. It came out at that particular time, putting out a new scenario without banks, blah, 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 and all. Why? Because banks, we can understand this is one of the biggest bank in the world, not the one of the biggest bank in the world, JP Morgan Chase, right? They admits fraud. Whew, that's so huge, and this is why you need a blockchain to end this type of corruption and to end a new financial system. Now, this is going to be pushed so hard due to all of these factors. So guys, I hope you actually understood all of these points, and this video is actually a repeat or a recreation of the first one which I put in the morning. Now, my actual intent was to actually give you guys a better audio quality, and I went and bought a HyperX Quadcast mic for recording these videos. And what really happened is, like, I didn't actually sort out its settings, with OBS and all. Now, even now, I actually tried my best to actually sort it out and get clear audio for you guys, so that what I'm speaking here is conveyed to you guys as it is. Now, if there is still complaint, do let me know. I'll try to sort this one out. I actually tried my best to do this. Now I'll actually go through YouTube and other stuffs to learn about this mic and its settings and its setting in OBS too. Now, in the morning, I think the audio was not that good. I didn't actually understood that it was happening. Then I got a lot of comments saying that the content looks good, impressive, but the audio was breaking, and that's why I'm repeating this one, right? I hope you guys received value this time, and if you did, please do support the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. If you would like to open your heart and support this channel, you can use the Patreon, PayPal, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.